Hi, we welcome you in front of the Levi9 testing department, in front of the team working on test automation. With this presentation, we would like to show the results of our work in this field. In this presentation will be shown how do we see the test automation, what we strive for, implementation of the framework, demo in which we show how our framework works, case studies where we use our framework. Test automation nowadays is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. Applications and systems are becoming more and more difficult, and manual testing cannot follow up with the trends. The process of testing and maintaining the quality has to be adapted accordingly. Test automation here steps in. Our first precondition was that we have a team that can technically support the new trend. As the result of work of our team, Ison framework emerged. Why name Ison? In November, during the development of our framework, there was a lot of stories about a comet which passed right next to the sun named Ison. We use this name as an inspiration. Let's look at what we have done, which technologies we have used, what we cover and how to use this. What Ison actually does. It deprives you of various configurations on which environment test will be executed, which browser will be used, connection to the database, which driver will be used, etc. Ison has it all. Work of test developers is to harness this and to start writing tests. Our idea is to make work much more easier. Ison framework relies on page object pattern. It is a pattern where the web page maps to, in this case, the Java class, and that Java class is used during the execution of tests against that web page. In base page class and base test class, default settings are set, and only thing that the test developer has to do is to inherit these classes and start with work. Framework generates test reports, and it can be adjusted to the demands of the end user client. We support various types of reports. Building tools for our framework are Maven for package management and test execution, TestNG for grouping and execution of tests, and also as a data provider. Java object-oriented language, which is very user-friendly for beginners, and it's widely used in Levi9. And last, Selenium for integration with web elements. In next few minutes, we will demonstrate work on one web page, and we will write short tests just to show the easiness of work in Ison framework. So, we have decided to work on Invoice application. Invoice is Levi9 application developed in .NET. We'll be working on creation of new consignee. On this form you can see that field name, TIN, and active are mandatory, and email should be valid email format address. How do we start? We open Eclipse IDE and command prompt line. In command prompt we start this short command for creation of Maven project. Only thing that we define here is archetype, version and name of the project. We press enter and we wait project to be generated. We import this generated project template into Eclipse. So as you can see, the project is imported. This is a typical Maven project. Structure is a Maven with a folder structure and hierarchy. You can see packages. This is a package that contains base pages and the content we described already before. This is one base page. Also base tests. that contains base tests inside. You can see here how one base test looks. In property files, we store the configurable parameters that we use in Framewok. You can see here content of one property file. So environmental properties, browser properties, etc. are defined here. A decision which test should be run and order of execution of tests has to be specified in XML file, which is feature of testng. In order to be able to execute the test suites, test classes locally, on grid or with continuous integration software, XML file must be configured properly. With the generation of our project, we are getting a couple of small tests to verify that everything is set up and working correctly. We will run now a Levi9 test, in which we will verify that Levi9 web page has loaded properly. We are starting the test by running Maven test. So as you see, test passed successfully. So let's create now test for our web project. Using the Ison plugin, we are going to generate base page. This is the plugin. We are looking a folder in structure where we will keep our base page. We are creating base page for create consignee. We put URL of the page where we are going to do the actions, so it's invoked in the base page. Also, we are copying HTML content of this page to the plugin, so we can collect all the interactive elements on the page. Now, in fact, base elements of the page. Next, we can see here all the elements with which we can interact, and I will select only the ones that we need for this test. So now we are going to define which type of element it is. This is a text field for the name on form. It's a text area for a description on the form. Text field for the TIN. Text field for the registration. Text field for the telephone. Text field for address. Text field for email. For is active is in fact a checkbox. And for a submit form button. So base page class is created. As you see, here are the defined methods that will be used for interaction from a base test. What we do now is we have to create the base test. So again, with Ison plugin, we go to create test class. It's called create consignee test. We'll be doing the interaction with consignee page. So this is how it looks. The base test, base page. Now we will type some action. In fact, we will try to create a test that will interact with elements on the create consignee page. Create a test that will verify that we can create new consignee. So we start with typing. What we have created here are all actions on that consignee form that are needed to perform successful creation of new consignee. We invoked from create consignee base page all methods that we need for interaction with this create new consignee web form. In test.xml we have to in fact put the record that we want to run this test by executing the test.xml or a Maven project. And now let's run and see will be there a success. We're running the test. We filled up the form. Yeah, success. We have confirmed that we can create new consignee. That was the demo. I would like to mention also that with our framework we can support work with emails, also work with XML files, databases, Excel files, and with the JSON. This is all created to increase test developers' productivity and to increase test flexibility. Ison's current scope is to continue to support testing of top browsers, support testing of REST-based services, to continue to support testing of web applications on macOS Safari, and our future and direction in which we are thinking is testing of Android operating systems, devices, and everything related to this market. Most important thing is to say that we have already experience in work with our framework on projects and integration of our framework into projects that use Java technology, .NET technology, GWT, JavaScript, and for testing of web services. I would also like to mention that we worked on, in fact, had hands-on testing of mobile applications, Silverlight applications, and desktop applications. This is our presentation, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to it. Thank you.